Yeah, good morning and welcome back to Mark's Railway Trails. Back out again, it's a Sunday morning. It's a good morning for it. If you're wondering where we are, we're near Hurst Finch at the moment. On foot today, done a bit of walking this morning and just come over the tops there, but if you can just see over there used to be a footbridge that you could get across. Sadly gone because it was well decaying, so that's been taken up, so kind of come a long way today, but trying new camera out today, got a new camera, so hopefully the picture will turn out alright. It's looking alright at the moment, but just having a breather because bit of a walk this morning, but like Sunday mornings are really nice to get out, and it's not too hot and it's not too cold, and I just started the blog from here really because I've come over the tops here this morning, and I was hoping where I'm going to, when I find the bridge I'll show you where we're going, but I was hoping to get on the line this morning because this line, half of it's cut off and leads to Pilkington's. They used it like a siding heading onto the railway, and it's all blocked off now. You cannot get on it. I did get on it this morning, unfortunately I got kicked off it because they're saying it's Pilk's land, private land. Said I was doing the blog, but they didn't want to know, so obviously they don't want you videoing up there, so can't argue with them, you're on private land. And as I came off the line, the police were at the bottom asking what I was doing as well, so obviously rang the police, and I just said I'm doing a blog for Old Railways, following the line, and they were dead nice, the police actually, and just said, like, you know, it's private land mate, you can't go on it and it's your own safety, you know. But I'd never do a live line, I'm not that stupid, and it wasn't a live line, but it leads part of it to if you carry on walking, to a live line. So unfortunately I can't show you the old line that's been taken up and where it runs to, but I'm going to take you in from another direction. That's why I've come this way this morning, and I'll show you where it is and I'll give you an idea. But what we're looking for this morning is Gerard's Bridge, and there was a railway station at Gerard's Bridge, believe it or not. And this is what took the line out to St Helens on the Runcorn Gap line, believe it or not. Yeah, it took it out of St Helens, and the reason I wanted to do this blog today was because it leads over into Rainford. It took it into Rainford. Well, went to Mossbank first, past Hurst Finch, onto Crank, and then Rainford Village. But if you look along here, there's quite a bit of history down here as well. That's the way I've just come. You'll see the old locks if you zoom in on the camera. You see the little bridge going over the old locks, and they all lead onto the canals. If you walk it that way, it's a lovely walk. It's not a railway walk, but it's still a lovely walk. It takes you all the way down the canals into the city centre, and it's really good, really pleasant, but again, lonely places, you know. I won't advise doing it on your own. Only idiots like me do that. But where the bridge is there, you can just see it on top. There was a bridge just there that's sadly gone, that took you onto the route, and if you can see there now, they put the railings up to stop people from walking that way, but you can still get to it, and that takes you down all the canals. And if you look very closely, try and keep the camera steady, you can see the old wooden locks that's still there, obviously shut off now, not used, but the water still comes down that way. And I've done them on my bike. It's a lovely trek out, to be honest with you. I'll just get my camera back. There you go. Like I say, I'm just getting used to this camera today, but it's looking good up to now. But yeah, that's the way you can come, and some of the locks in some are really colourful with the water, but I'll take you down and I'll show you where it runs to. But yeah, you can still walk the old locks. It is a nice walk. Well, what we're looking for today is Gerard's Bridge, and there's a railway station there at Gerard's Bridge as well. I'll tell you more about the history of that when we get a bit near it. A lot of pipe work here. You'll see a lot of this, and you'll see some right down there as well, where the dog walker's just going down. A lot of these were towards Pilkington's. Because right over there, where I got booted off, is Pilkington's glass, and that's where the line ends up at work before it's cut off, leading to Mossbank. And I'll show you how that runs as well. I'm going to keep it running. I'm going to walk it round to Mossbank and show you where the line it's going into Rainford Village. And I've done that on Facebook that walk before I started doing a lot of these blogs. But what a nice morning for it. And what they've done with this one at Finch, they've turned it into like a nice cycle path. And this is what should be happening to the line running from town centre past Morrison's to the junction. If you did this, imagine that on a cycle path. How quick could you walk into town? Unbelievable. And it's a pity that never got passed. And it was down for that to be passed until the cuts came in about 10 years ago. But it's so overgrown now. St Helens Runcorn Gap line, as you've seen on my blog when I walked it from start to finish. But no climbing today, which was good. Apart from early on, I was right up there, actually got onto the line, but it's not to be, but I can still show it you roughly where it is. And there is people that's actually done it before they closed a lot of it off on YouTube, so if you want to find it, just tap in Gerard's Bridge on YouTube and you'll find it. I think there's a guy called, I think his name's Paul Rigby, I'm sure it is, who's done it. And he actually videoed it on a live train coming past, but I would never go on a live line. No way. What you can see coming up now, this is the line that took you out of St Helens. Because we're on the back end of St Helens now, Urswin, and this is what led into over into Rainford, and that led to Gerard's Bridge Station. And some of the steps are still there. I'll show you the steps, following an old map again this morning. And old maps are great because they show you where bridges and items are. What they don't show you is new walkways like this. So you kind of combine the two really. I always do it with Google Earth. Old railway maps of Scotland. You're probably asking why old railway maps of Scotland. Because they highlight all the old railways in this country. And it's a cracking tool. I can't think of the website, but if you go on it, it's unbelievable what you can find on it. But you've got to combine the two. You know, Google Earth, local knowledge, and the old maps. But here's the bridge, and what's good about this bridge, how low is that? And we've just missed a train coming over it, because they're not that frequent now, the trains down here, because they kind of bend round from Finch. It kind of cuts round really in that direction. Like I said, that's where I've been this morning, up there. And the line's cut off when you just get over there, and that heads to Pilks, which was used as a siding. But just here, I'll show you, there should be some steps, which the steps are probably long gone. But again, these bridges, they're built to last, you know. You always get a bit of a graffiti underneath them now. Well, quite a low bridge. That's still used, that bridge, that's still on a live line, that one. Got the little waterways going underneath it. But if you just see there now, where it says stop, look, listen, On my map that I was looking at this morning, that was Gerard's Bridge railway station. Started off with one platform, then went to two platforms. It was opened in 1858, this station, and it was a really busy station. I think because it was so close to the town centre, you know, you wasn't far off the town centre. Actually closed in 1905. It actually closed, so didn't have a long lifespan really, but closed 1905, and it did freight for quite a few years on this line, and I think it closed to freight. Like I say, it kind of backs round where the station is here now. It kind of goes right, it swings right, the track, and then it just carries on to Pilkington's, which I'll show you, and that leads onto Mossbank, Crank and Rainford Village. But yeah, 1858 it opened, and 1890 it went double track towards St Helens. Yeah, and looking at my dates, Pilkington stopped using the line in 2005. They stopped using it. Obviously when Pilks went through a major refit, you know, they got taken over, didn't they, by a Japanese company. But again, some lovely walks down here this morning, and glad to, like I say, I'd love to have done just further down the line, but it wasn't meant to be. But at least you can see where it is if you ever want to walk it, and you can get on that at Erskine, or just come down the canals and cut over the canals. But there's loads of walkways you can go down this way. If you take that one, that will take you up through the woods, and just again brings you out on the canals. And as you can see, you can always tell when Pilks were about. Look at the pipe work going over, and that's leading towards Pilks. Well, quite a nice walk this morning. Lonely places, like I say, but very low bridge, and as you can see, they're all electric now. All electric. But at least they've made a decent job of it. It's clean, it's tidy. You can cycle through here but dead quick onto Erskine, take you up to Mossbank. But I'll walk it the long way around this morning, just to show you where the bridge is that leads to Pilks, where we started this morning, but sadly not to be. And again, all the waterways, they all run out of town, and all these run obviously all through St Helens, and the biggest one goes under the picture house at St Helens. Well, to show you where we've come this morning, this is where we started it, to be honest with you. I've come the long way around. But just behind that warehouse there, that's where the line backs on. And when you see the bridge, people will know where we are now, especially the ones who live in St Helens. That's where the little canal just keeps going. But you just can't get on this line now. It's just totally blocked off. Oh, that's because it's Pilkington's private land, as I found out this morning. But here it is, call it Gerard's Bridge. Just see, I'm going to get on the other side here now. Gerard's Bridge. And if you look up there, everything's shut off, everything's blocked off because of Pilks. And that's the bridge, Gerard's Bridge. There's been a lot of accidents here on this bridge because people just fly around the corner. I'll just show you where I got onto the bridge this morning. So I did actually see some of the track. I'll just zoom in there now. You just see it. Where I went this morning, I got up there and right up to the top there, just over, and then went right. Now if you go right there, that takes you where the line used to run towards Moss Bank. Don't go left, because where the railings are, just as you go further left, is a live line. No trains come over this bridge anymore. It's a dead bridge. Not even Pilkingtons use it now. But just up there, you go left to the live line, and you can just see the line. I can just show you where the railings are there now. Just along there, that's where the live line runs. And you can see an old bridge there as well. I'll go across and show you. But you can just see one of the old bridges there. It's still there, but that's on the live line now. And like I say, I got up here there this morning, and just on top there. And, I'll try and get another peek actually, because it'd be good to see. Bit of rubbish here, but you can just see on top there now. That's where it runs, just to give you an insight. And I'm not going to go back up, because obviously watching down the other side. But yeah, that line's not there anymore, sadly gone. But this is Gerard's Bridge, and I'm going to take you and show you where it runs to. Just got to be careful on this part of the road here, because it's so busy. But yeah, that's where the live line is. Flick that back, you don't want my ugly mush on it. There it goes. Like I say, it's such a busy roundabout this really. Gets you so easy to be covered. Knocked over. Been loads of crashes here as well, so you can see it. I'm going to make a dash. There we go. I'll take you around and show you where this actually runs to now. I know you're not seeing much along here, but you can see the live line down there now. That's where it runs. So it'll be a bit boring this walk for you now, but I'm going to pause it here. So that's where we've just come from. I'm going to put the pause on, hopefully it comes back on, and I'll show you where this line runs to. And here we are. I've cut all the walking out of the street. A bit boring, but what are you looking across there now, where the big wall is and the trampoline? That used to be called Co-op Washway Lane, and that was the Co-op Social Club in the 80s. And June Woods and all of her friends were regular in there. We didn't do it a lot. We used to go in for a game of pool every now and again, but it was just a bit far out for us living at Eccleston. But I know Paul Winstanley was the treasurer for there and helped keep it afloat. And it was open for quite a few years, but the land got sold, and as land gets sold, there's always new houses that appear. But what I'm bringing you now is the line that I was just showing you that came out of St Helens, and it headed up to Moss Bank. And I'll show you the sign now. You'll just see it. You'll just see it on your right now. Just here, you can just see it here now, where it's got Washway Lane. But again, if you look, it's all fenced off. But this is where the railway line ran, and it went right over there. Morning, ladies. Right over there it ran to, and that took it up to Mossbank. And I'll walk it up to Mossbank and just show you where the line actually ran. But as you can see, it's all overgrown in here, and you just see the pipe work going through. Do you see it on over the flip the camera right up? It's all to do with Pilks, putting water and supplies to Pilkinsons. Well, that's the last part of the bridge. It's all been chopped and gone, but quite low bridges as well. Quite low bridges. Well, this takes you up to Mossbank. I'm going to walk it and show you where it kind of ends, really, heading into Rainford. But everywhere around that part that we got on this morning, there's signs everywhere, and razor wire everywhere. And again, it's just Pilks. I've got the land, and there you go, just signs everywhere. Again, another busy road this on this junction, so you've got to be careful. But walk it and show you. This leads up to Mossbank, and again that gives you a better shot if you look where it's boarded up just above the bridge. I'll show you. That's where we would have come across, and it kind of swings around then, right round here. Takes you up to Mossbank. Like I say, I'm just getting used to this new camera this morning, so a bit of trial and error along a lot of things. But yeah, this is the way it would have come. Again, it gets a bit boring on the some of the walks. But you can actually cut across here, and I'll show you where it leads to. But you may be asking why I wanted to find Gerard's Bridge and Station, and the reason I did is because it leads on. It's the last port of call, really, going out to St Helens towards Rainford, and that's why I wanted to do it, just to give you an idea. When you follow the line all the way down, and it's nice just to get it on a blog to show you where it leads to. And little subway bridge there, you see. You just sit down, steps going down. And we'll hit another railway bridge coming up. Like I say, I'm just getting used to this camera this morning. Its resolution's totally higher than the one I had, but everything's in different places where you're used to just touching a button. So I'm only about a week in with this new camera, so it did alright Friday night at the cabin, so I was pleased with that, but it's just getting used to it. But here we go, another bridge coming over here now, which will be a live bridge. But where we're walking down now, this is where the line would have come down originally to hit Rainford. But before that there was a station at Mossbank and Crank, and all sadly gone. But that's another blog, it's for another day, doing Crank and Mossbank, because it is a bit of a trek actually, you know. I've been out this morning about an hour on foot. Parked my car up and then walked it the rest of the way, so I've been out about an hour on foot, So a bit of a walk this morning, but again, just trying to get your fitness back a bit as well. If you look left here now, wondering what the gates are. That all leads to BOC chemical plant. Do all the gases and that. It shows you where that is. But yeah, here's another bridge going over. But this is where the line would have come down originally. Obviously it's a road now. But there you go, there's the bridge, you see the cars whizzing over it. And if you go up here, if you're wondering where that path leads to, it takes you over the motorway, and if you want to walk it up to Crank and places, it'll take you up to there. But today we're going to Mossbank, so and Mossbank Station, we'll get this on the blog today. You'll see Mossbank Hotel just coming up the white building. I'll show you more when we get there. That's still here, but that's classed as Mossbank Hotel now. But this is a route that would have took you out to St Helens on the train, over to Mossbank, Crank, and then on to sunny Rainford. And I'm going to stay on the grass actually and show you. And I've actually got a picture of this showing the line what a guy did for me. It's the old line with this road as well on it. He's combined the two. It's a traffic picture. I'll try and find that and dig it out. Like I say, using a new camera today, and when I had to transfer all my pictures and everything over to this one, it only took about half a day because I've got that many pictures and videos. And I've had to delete quite a few now that I've got on my blogs and stuff because the memory's so full. So it did me a favour really. But yeah, if I swing round now where the bridge is and you see the cars going down, if you take that little footpath, brings you onto there, you can cut across there, and right in the distance there's a walk path that takes you up to Crank. And me and Steve have done that walk quite a few times. A nice walk, and again a few old railway buildings up there as well. Well, I know they get a bit monotonous, these walks, when you're trying to get to somewhere and there's not a lot to see. Well, I am going to try and get better at these blogs where I can add pictures from the past into them as well. And in time I will get that to do that, but just getting the time really and the but yeah, pity I couldn't show you where the line was and cut off, but I ain't getting upset about it. If it ain't meant to be, it ain't meant to be. But at least you can, gives you an idea where it is. I'll take you and show you some of the old railway buildings that stood around here to finish the blog after all. Surprising lockdown got me out walking in the mates to the right, and we walked for miles around Mossbank, all the St Helens areas, and it's, as I always say on my music with a tour, you never know what you find till you walk through a new door, and it's so true. And me and Steve found many. But here we are, it's called the Moss Bank now. It used to be called, off the top of my head, I'm sure it was the Moss Bank Hotel, but this was Moss Bank Station originally. So they kept the station and converted it into a pub, which is nice to see really. I've not been in this pub for, God, must be 30 years. 30 years. And I used to know a girl that used to live on top of Moss Bank Hill, and at the time I was driving a Mark II Escort gear, which was the dog's bollocks really of a car in its day. And I always remember going up Moss Bank Hill, and for all the cyclists who know Moss Bank Hill is one of the steepest hills in St Helens, and trying to get up that hill when you've got rear wheel drive was a nightmare. And I tell you what, coming home that night on a frosty, icy night, I virtually skidded all the way down. But this is it. This is what was Moss Bank Station. I'll just flip my car, it's better. Like I say, I'm just getting used to this camera. This was Moss Bank Station, and just where we are now, you see where the Moss Bank sign is. There'd have been railway gates here, just here would have been railway gates. I'll flick it round, I'll go to the other side and show you. I'll just show you Moss Bank Hill as well. You've got to watch this because they fly down here. But again, nice area around here as well. But if you look up there, that takes you up to Moss Bank, and that hill just climbs and climbs to the trees. That night in my Mark II Escort, trying to get up there in ice and snow, it was unbelievable. But just here, that's where the gates would have been, and then the railway, I'll just show you where it led to. Went right along here, and it's all shut off now, but that would have took it on to to Crank, and onto Rainford. And again, new houses built behind it, but as you can see, that's where the line would have come down all the way that we've walked from this morning. There was Moss Bank Station, would have had the gates on there. And like I said, I've got a picture of that. The guy who did it as well had the old road and the train track alongside, and it shows you what it's like. But I'll just show you down here, just to finish off on Mark's Railway Trails this morning. Because there is some old buildings down here, some old coach houses, which are in sad repair, to be honest with you. I'm not going to take you all the way up there, but if you go up there as well, there's actually some railway houses up there, which is called Sandy Lane, if you're ever looking for it. But just here, as you can see, there's a lot of work going on now. A lot of these, I'll just flip my camera over, were railway houses. Again, sadly in need of repair. And you wouldn't think this was here, would you? But obviously they're taking it down to the bare bones now. Taking it down to the bare bones, which is nice to see. And one of the houses is still here, there you go. One of the railway houses, and you can just see in the background there. Yeah. Well, I'll take you around because I'm going to be heading back this way now. Bit of a walk this morning, but I'm going to cut across the motorway down the little path which will bring me right back over there. And this leads you on to Rainford. And again, you can actually, this is another walk you can do if you want to walk it. There's so many in St Helens now, at St Helens really, but I just wanted to do this one today just to show you where it ran to, and I'll just flick it round for a cut off. So if you follow the houses down all along from St Helens, I'll zoom in on my camera if I can, I'm getting used to it, and you can just see the Mossbank station there. That would have led you on to Crank, which will take you that way, and then onto Rainford Station. So I just want to get it on and show you. I'll keep it running up here for a bit till I get to the motorway. But Rainford Station, again, Rainford Station where it is now is right next to the pub called The Junction. And if you ever want some live music on a Friday night, the guy who owns it, it's unbelievable, he's brilliant, and was in there quite a lot, not every week because we try and do different places, but was in there quite a lot. And the ukulele clubs there, get down if you want to see some great guys and learn the ukulele. I go down quite a few times and see the old guys, as I call them, but knowledge. And the ukulele club's brilliant, and it's not men, it's ladies of all ages now, because the ukulele has become very, very popular, believe it or not. Well, nice morning for this, nice walk. Getting a bit of drizzle now, which is cooling me down, because been on, like I say, a good, I'd say, hour's walk, and I've probably got about 45 minutes walking back doing the Tony Redman with her. But there you go, that's where it ends up. It's a sunny Rainford, and my next vlog, I've got so many to do, I'm just trying to tick them off. From all the way over there, take you into to Crank, and then from Crank I'll take you into Rainford, and I might just, when I do Rainford, I might just treat you to a pint in the Junction, go and see my old mate Paul. So from sunny St Helens to sunny Rainford, see you soon on Mark's Railway Trails. Hope you enjoyed it. I know some of it might be a bit boring, but at least you know how the line runs out of St Helens and into Rainford. See you soon. No breakfast this morning, there's no breakfast en route. Quick march back, and enjoy Sunday everybody. See you later.